Hello friends. Today we are going to discuss about cardiopulmonary resuscitation or CPR. CPR is a life-saving technique that's useful in many emergencies such as heart attacks or near drowning in which someone's breathing or heartbeat has stopped. The American Heart Association recommends starting CPR with a hard and fast chest compression. This hands-only CPR recommendations applies to both untrained bystanders and first responders. Definition of CPR. CPR is a basic emergency procedure for life support consisting of artificial and manual external cardiac massage. In the early stages of a heart attack, that can often be avoided if a bystander starts CPR within 5 minutes of the onset of ventricular fibrillation. When paramedics arrive, medications and or electrical shock to the heart can be administered to convert ventricular fibrillation to a normal heart rhythm. Prompt CPR and rapid paramedic response can improve the chances of survival from a heart attack. The indications of CPR is cardiac arrest and respiratory arrest. Cardiac arrest occurs due to ventricular fibrillation, ventricular tachycardia, asystole, pulseless electrical activity. And the respiratory arrest occurs due to drowning, stroke, foreign body in throat, smoke inhalation, drug overdose, suffocation, accident, injury, coma, epiglottis paralysis. These are the indications of CPR. Next, we can go through the procedure of CPR. Before that, we can see the equipments which are needed for doing CPR. First one is ambibag and mask with different size, oropharyngeal airway, endotracheal tubes of appropriate size and stillet, pediatric laryngoscope with straight and curved, suction apparatus, NG tube, IV equipments and fluids, pulse oximetry, oxygen source, automated external defibrillator, emergency drugs and cardiac monitors. These are the equipments which are needed for doing CPR. Next is the steps of CPR. There are mainly 4 steps that are A, B, C and D. Airway, breathing, circulation and defibrillation. In airway, maintain an open airway, and in breathing, provide artificial ventilation by rescue breathing. In circulation, promoting artificial circulation by external cardiac compression. Defibrillation by restore the heartbeat. These are the 4 steps of CPR. Next, we can move on to the procedure of CPR. Before starting procedure, check the consciousness of person. If unconscious, shake shoulders gently and ask, "Are you alright?" Then position the patient. CPR is most easily and effectively performed by laying the patient supine on a relatively hard surface, which allows effective compression on the sternum. Delivery of CPR on a mattresses or other soft materials is generally less effective. The person giving compression should be positioned high enough above the patient to achieve sufficient leverage so that he or she can use body weight to adequately compress the chest. Then remember to spell CAB. CAB means circulation, airway and breathing. In circulation, pull the person on his or her back on a firm surface. Place his or her arms at his side and proceed to establish an open airway. Straighten the person's leg. Kneel next to the person's neck or shoulders. Place the heel of one hand over the center of the person's chest. Between the nipple, place other hand on the top of the first hand. Then keep elbows straight and position shoulders directly above hands. A compression consists of a thrust which compresses the heart and a release which allows the heart to refill with blood. The compressions are delivered at the rate of approximately 100 per minute. It is recommended to push hard and fast to make sure adequate depth and rate of compressions are maintained. When performing compressions, elbow should be locked and pushed straight down. Then do use enough force to push the casualty sternum down 1.5 inches to 2 inches. That means 4 to 5 centimeter. Release the pressure completely so that sternum resumes its normal position, but do not remove the heel of hand from compression site. The nurse should establish a definite rhythm when performing external chest compression. The release part of the cycle should be equal in time to the thrust part of the cycle. Both parts should be distinct, do not bounce. Next is airway. After 30 chest compressions, open the person's airway using the head tilt, chin left maneuver. Put palm on the person's forehead and gently tilt the head back. Then with the other hand, gently lift the chin forward to open the airway. Check for normal breathing. Look for the chest motions. Listen breath sounds. If the person is not breathing normally, begin mouth to mouth breathing. Jaw thrust method is preferred for establishing an airway. The jaw thrust method moves the casualty's tongue forward without extending his neck. Kneel behind the casualty's head. Rest elbow on the surface on which the casualty is lying. Place one hand on each side of the casualty's head. Place the tip of index and middle fingers under the angles of the casualty's jaw. Then place the thumbs on the casualty's jaw just below the level of teeth. Lift the jaw upwards with the fingertips. The mouth should not be closed, as this could prevent air from entering the casualty's airway. Next is breathing. Rescue breathing can be mouth to mouth or mouth to mask or back to mask ventilation. Keep the casualty's airway open by maintaining the head tilt or chin lifted. Then take a deep breath and close the nostrils of casualty. Then place mouth over the casualty's mouth, cover completely and ensure an airtight seal so that air will not escape. Blow a breath at a slow rate into the casualty's mouth. After blowing quickly, break the seal over his mouth. Take a breath of air, exhale and take deep breath. Seal mouth over the casualty's mouth again and continue mouth to mouth resuscitation. The last step of CPR is defibrillation. Defibrillation is a device that can deliver direct electrical current across the myocardium. The aim is to produce synchronous depolarization of cardiac muscles. In cardiac arrest, the associated heart rhythms can be categorized into two groups, that are shockable rhythm and non-shockable rhythms. The basic difference in the treatment of these two groups of arrhythmia is the need for defibrillation in patients with ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillation. The positions of paddles are: one paddle is placed in the right infraclavicular region while the other is placed in the left 5th to 6th intercostal space anterior axillary line. Alternatively, antero-posterior position may be used. One paddle is placed in the left intrascapular region while the other is placed in the left 5th to 6th intercostal space anterior axillary line. Action completely depolarize all myocardial cells so SA node can re-establish as pacemaker. Voltage of electricity discharge high from 150 joule to 360 joule or biphasic, 360 joule or monophasic. Then shifted the patient to the intensive care unit and monitor closely and continuously. Monitor vital signs every hours. Watch for convulsions. Intubate if necessary. Catheterize the patient and monitor output. Record the procedures. Next is the complications of CPR. First one is fractured ribs. When you are going chest compression, it is possible to break a rib. Although a broken rib can occur in any patient, it is more common in the elderly. In many instances, there is no way to completely prevent fracturing a rib, but ensuring proper hand position may help reduce the possibility. Next one is liver contusion or lacerations. Although it is an uncommon complication of compressions, a liver laceration or contusion is a possibility. The chances of a liver laceration increases if compressions are done too forcefully or if the chest compression at too great a depth. Once again, performing high quality compressions properly may reduce the risk of liver contusion. Third one is vomiting and aspiration. Aspiration fluid or vomit into the lungs is a common complication of CPR. There are a few reasons vomiting may occur during CPR. During compression, it is not uncommon for the pressure applied to the chest to lead to vomiting. In addition, vomiting is a symptom of some cardiac conditions. Latestly, if you are also naturally ventilate the patient with a back mask, air can enter the stomach causing distension and vomiting. The last complication is bruising and tissue injury. Performing chest compression can be traumatic. Pumping on someone's chest forcefully can lead to hematomas and injury to the tissue of the chest. It is very common for patients who survive to feel very sore for days after the event because of the force needed to maintain adequate perfusion during CPR. There is not much you can do to prevent these complications. These are the complications of CPR. Drugs which are used during CPR is first line drugs are epinephrine 1 mg every 3 to 5 minutes, vasopressin 40 units, atropine sulfate for bradycardia, aminodarone for pulseless ventricular tachycardia, calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, procainamide, phenytoin, NaHCO3 for hyperkalemia, lignocaine for antiarrhythmic. These are the drugs which are used during CPR. Let's see a video of doing CPR. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation or CPR. First, assess the response, then check if he or she is conscious or not. If not conscious, shake shoulders gently. Then call for help 997. Before starting CPR, remove the patient from immediate danger. Check for spinal injury. Make sure the patient is breathing spontaneously for 3 to 5 seconds. Look the movement of victim chest. Listen to the breath sounds. Feel the air while it's coming out from mouth. Then the rescue check the pulse at neck for 10 seconds. Then start CPR. CPR with 30 chest compressions, one before giving 2 rescue breaths. With both of your hands, compresses on middle of the victim's chest as shown in the picture. 5 cm for adults, 4 cm for children. Least 100 compressions per minute. Minus 30 compressions followed by 2 breaths for adults and children in the presence of 1 rescues. 50 compressions followed by 2 breaths for children in the presence of 2 rescues. Next, open the airway by head tilt chin lift in the absence of spinal injury as shown in the picture. Next is breathing. Prepare to give 2 rescue breaths. Give the first rescue breath lasting 1. It may be reasonable for the provider to deliver 1 breath every 6 seconds while continuous. Chest compressions are being performed. Continue CPR until there are signs of movement or emergency medical personnel take over.